Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to another very special race. This is in the snow, in snow-covered vehicles, and for this I decided I wanted to get those sort of shots at the very start of the race that you've just seen. So I'm starting a lap behind here. These are the people in my class that are coming to start their second lap. I'm basically going to be starting at the back of these. Obviously I'll be a lap behind, but we don't really need the position counters to work out where we are. We'll figure it out as we go. So yeah, this is another very special race that is only possible on PC because of the sort of special... Oh, that's nice. I've been lapped before I've even started. The very special things that you can do on PC relating to spawning different vehicles and all that kind of stuff in races. So time for me to start now, and basically... Obviously at this point I am a lap down on everybody, but we're just sort of acting as though I'm essentially in 7th place now. I don't know whether there was more people in GT1, I think there was, but I'm going with this anyway at the moment. So as you can see, it's in the snow. It's a multi-class race. As you may have seen, the vehicles that were being driven at the very start on that first sort of outside shot. We've got what we've got at the minute, which is the police road cruiser. That's for GT1, and that's what I'm in right now. Then we've also got in GT2 the snow-covered Acia, and then GT3 is the snow-covered Burrito. So if you've seen my snow vehicles testing video, you'll know sort of what all of these cars are and how they all do and all that kind of stuff. But basically the idea with this event is just to do something a little bit special in the snow. Obviously the snow itself is a very special time on GTA, and these snow-covered vehicles, you can't normally use them or race them or anything like that. So it's about enjoying the experience of driving these vehicles in the snow. That's kind of the whole idea that we're going with this. And hopefully it'll be an interesting sort of experience. I'm not really going to call it an interesting race, so to speak, because we're not really bothered about sort of the positions that we are in or anything like that, and it's more about the experience of driving these cars, more so than sort of racing them specifically or anything like that. You know, it's about the fun of driving in the snow on what is a beautiful circuit as well. This is Grand Tour by Mid. I'll leave a link to that in the description, like I tend to do when the tracks aren't my own. But yeah, hopefully it'll be a nice experience. Obviously when the sun comes up, the views should be pretty nice, and everything in the snow as well. It should be a nice experience driving these cars, and we'll see how we can do. I've already made up one position there, so at least I'm not in last place. I think I'm going to try and keep up with where I am in the race, because obviously the positions are just going to be always 25th. But I believe at the minute I am in 6th place in GT1. Obviously I started a lap behind just to get those start shots, but I think it made a nice introduction to the video, and you know, as I said, this is just a bit of fun. So yeah, hopefully throughout the course of the race we'll meet up with some of the GT2s and GT3s as we go through, because the road cruiser, the police road cruiser, is quicker than obviously the Burrito and the Acia. So hopefully we'll meet up with those and we'll pass those, and maybe I'll get my actual real positions back and overtake them for position. But yeah, so far it's just kind of a case of enjoying the experience in the snow, really, in some very special vehicles that you can't normally drive, can't normally race. And that's what these PC events are all about. So this is technically the 3rd lap of the race, but it's only my 2nd lap. But that wasn't too bad of a first lap. I didn't have too many issues. I wouldn't say that, once again, you know, as always, I wouldn't say that I know the track amazingly well, as I've just shown there. But hopefully I know it well enough to not have any major accidents. But this is snowy conditions, so there's never any guarantee of that. And there's some PC understeer. I might as well explain about PC understeer at the start whilst we're here. So a few people asked me about it, and I am intending to make a fact-finding video about it and why that phenomenon happens. And the idea is that you basically have more understeer on PC than you do on console. It's a little bit more complicated than what I'm going to say now, but just for easiness, it's kind of the idea that... Oh, we've got a bit of a battle. the PC game runs. You're running at 60 frames per second, whereas on console you're running at 30 frames per second. So in general, you're going to be. Why is Vixtro? What the? Why is he Ghost? How does that work? I don't understand how that's happened. What? Okay. So I think that's put me up into 4th place in GT1 at the moment. That's pretty cool. Making up 2 positions quite quickly there. I don't know how he's turned into a Ghost. This is contact racing. This is a GTA race where we were able to get out of our cars. Anyway. So yeah, on PC you're running at 60 frames per second, so you are... Basically the car is going quicker than what it does on console, and that's why lap times on PC are quicker than they are on console. You can get quicker lap times on PC, so that's why it's sort of difficult to be able to sort of compare lap times on PC and console. There's a little bit more to it, and I'll go into it in more detail in the fact-finding video that I do have planned. But yeah, it's basically you're traveling quicker on PC, so your braking points that you may be used to on console aren't necessarily your braking points anymore, and if you brake at that same point you're going to be sort of braking a little bit too late. And the same on acceleration as well. You want to try and accelerate a little bit later than what you normally would on console, because you're accelerating at a faster rate, so then that will naturally bring in some understeer to the car. It's more a case of not being used to one or the other than anything specific and anything major. You know, if you're used to console, you'll notice understeer on PC. If you're used to PC, you're not going to really notice it. It's not going to be a big difference or anything like that. So it's just a case of acclimatizing between them, but because I'm constantly switching between Xbox One, PS4, PC all the time, it takes me a bit to sort of get used to the different, the various small differences that you get from console to PC. So that's a little bit of a explanation, but hopefully I'll cover it in more detail later on. So I'm in 4th place at the minute. And it looks like I'm catching up to Nos for 3rd place in GT1. Again, I'll mention it again, I am a lap behind everybody, technically. But that's because I started later than everybody else, but we're just acting as though I'm on the same lap as everybody, and I just sort of waited for everybody at the back. It's really fun driving in the snow though. I haven't done it enough this Christmas period. I'm so happy that they decided to bring it back. I really am. It was an excellent decision by Rockstar. I know we had it on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day last year as well, but I thought initially that was because of the Lizard Squad issues taking Xbox Live and PlayStation Network down, but they've brought it back for this year, so that's absolutely fantastic. I know people get sick of it, but it is only for a couple of days at a time, and it's something so special. Same with doing these racing events and all of these sort of special PC videos that I've uploaded in this GTA Live racing series, like racing the multi-class cars, the racing cars, the Dominator race cars, the Buffalo race cars, all that kind of stuff, with the police cruisers as well. You know, doing all of that, it's just something a little bit special and a little bit extra. And something that you don't normally get to do. And that's what, for me, that's kind of what gaming is all about. And when you can do something a little bit special, why not go for it? Okay, so battle is on. Nos made a little mistake there. This is for 3rd place in GT1. As I said, this is a multi-class race, so we do have the GT2s and the GT3s all battling with each other further back around the track behind us. Don't know what's happening in their races, but hopefully we'll sort of, as I mentioned, catch up to those and pass those and see how they're all doing. At the minute, this race is a classic multi-class race, so it's basically three races in one, in classic multi-class fashion. Now I'm going for third place in GT1. Because as we saw from the testing video, the Road Cruiser is the quickest snow-covered vehicle in the game. That was so much fun doing that testing video, it really was. Again, something a little bit special. Snow-covered vehicles in the snow. Wow, I almost got caught up in that as well. Because I don't know the track as quite as well as others, I figured that was the right speed to take that. Clearly, as soon as I saw him start to go wide, I knew it wasn't. I almost got caught up and dragged into that. I would have hit him straight in the back there and probably sent us both off the edge if I hadn't noticed that. That was lucky. Alright, so technically I'm up into third place in GT1. Daylight is starting to break as well, so should get some nice shots. Some beautiful 60 FPS full 1080p shots of the snow. You guys seem to really enjoy the 60 FPS testing video in the snow. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, PC lap times are quicker than console lap times, and I do all my car testing on console. But if I ever do need to do anything on PC, I always turn VSync down to half, which basically forces it to be at 30 FPS. And that means that lap times are set at VSync on half are exactly the same as console lap times. So that was the first testing video, the snow-covered vehicles version, that was in 60 FPS, and the quality definitely showed through, I think. Also, YouTube tends to show 60 FPS videos at a higher bitrate, despite them still being 1080p. I think the bitrate for regular 1080p videos are 6,000 kilobits a second, whereas 60 FPS 1080p videos are 8,000. So you do get a little bit better quality in that respect as well, and it definitely shows. It looks beautiful, especially something in like the snow. I had to upload that testing video on 60 FPS because the lap times didn't really matter. You know, we were only comparing the vehicles that were actually in that video with each other. We weren't comparing them against anything else, so it gave me that freedom to be able to do it in 60 FPS and not worry about comparing it to lap times that we've had previously. Get a bit of drift on down the twisties there. Oh wow, my lights have gone. So just in the distance is our first GT3 car that we've encountered. A Burrito. So that shows just how far behind the next GT1 car I am. Got our first snow-covered Burrito that we're going to be lapping. And I'm guessing we're going to be coming up to a few more at this point. This might get to this part of the race where we're starting to come up against the GT2s and GT3s. A little bit laggy here from Blade Cruiser. Lost a significant amount of time there. That's okay. Okay, so this is a GT1 car. That must have had a bit of a nightmare, because I started a lap behind everybody and I'm coming up to overtake him. So Blade Cruiser, unfortunately, in that GT3 Burrito has just left, has disconnected. Unfortunate. Apologies. I always feel bad when people disconnect. So that's a position gained. I obviously overtook Blade Cruiser and whoever that was in the GT1 car. That must have had a nightmare of a race to be that far back. But that's actually improving my overall position, because I'm still a lap behind everybody who I'm actually racing against. So as I overtake these GT3s and GT2s, it's actually for position, technically, but you know, I'm lapping them. Someone's had issues. Yeah, you can't respawn when we're doing these special events. Yeah, I can't look on the overall leaderboard because obviously I'm a lap down on everybody. I might bring it up anyway, see how the race is going. So Super Stepper's in the lead, Story VS is in second, Vikstro is in third, but he's technically just behind me, so he's actually in fourth at the moment. There he is. Ghost Vikstro. Don't know how he's managed to end up like that. So Vikstro is 20 seconds behind Story VS, and I imagine that pretty much means I'm 19 seconds behind Story VS. So I'm 19 seconds behind second place, and a long way, what, 30 seconds behind first place. So we're coming up to our first GT2 car, an Acia. Coming up to lap first Acia. Oh wait, did he pull off? Yeah, they crashed or pulled off really too far. But oh well, that was easy done. I'm kind of happy about that, to be honest, because this hasn't been too bad of a lap. I think this has been my best lap so far in terms of lap time. Managed to pull out a gap to Vikstro on that lap. Oh. Thank you. They do help, I would say, the sirens, in terms of letting people know that you're coming through. I still think the clown horn is easily the most effective for that, though. And this is what multi-class racing is all about, really. If anybody hasn't watched the multi-class endurance championship that we did last year, this is what it's all about, having multiple different classes all in one race, different pace of vehicles. So you've got obviously the fastest are the GT1s, the middle are the GT2s, and then the slowest are the GT3s. And you know, it's up to the GT1s to not only be quick around the circuit, but have good racecraft and good spatial awareness of other cars and vehicles and all that kind of stuff, to be able to make it past the GT2s and the GT3s whilst losing as little time as possible, because you will lose time if you're lapping people, but you've got to do it by losing the smallest amount of time possible. And then on the other hand, the GT3s have to lose the smallest amount of time possible when they're letting the faster cars through. And then the GT2s have kind of a mix of both, letting the GT1s go through and letting having to overtake the GT3s. I mean, I imagine the most of you who are watching this are well versed in the multi-class endurance championship. But if anybody isn't, you should definitely have a search around my channel for those videos, because they are some of the best that I've ever done in my life, and some of the things that happened during that championship were unbelievable. And it's coming back as well. It is coming back for season 3. It's all in the process of being organised. Not for a few months, don't get too excited, but it is definitely confirmed to be coming back for season 3. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm looking forward to it. So I'm just looking at the leaderboard there. Vikstro is still 20 seconds behind Story VS in second place. And I've put a pretty decent gap to Vikstro at the moment. I don't know how many seconds it is exactly because I just can't tell, but I'm certainly a lot further ahead of him than I was earlier on, which means that because his gap to Story VS has remained the same, I am catching up to second place in GT1. I don't know whether I'll be catching up enough by the end to mount a challenge, but yeah, that's cool. That's encouraging. Oh no! That was a choke. That was a significant choke. Do you know what it was? It was the text chat. And I'm back down in 4th place. Vikstro's passed me. Ghost Vikstro. I hate that text chat so much on PC, I really do. It's... I don't know why I tried to read it. It's something that you can't sort of avoid. You know, you see that chat there. And it's just so distracting. Oh well. I was catching up to second place. And then the choke happened. I don't know how Vikstro is a ghost. That makes it so much easier that he can just go through the traffic. Look at that. I'm not able to do that. So at least we've got a little battle now. It's a non-contact battle, which is not what I was kind of expecting. But it's a battle all the same. Can't believe I had that incident. I should never say, oh, I'm catching up to second place, because that's always the time when I have these incidents and accidents. Definitely not getting that corner right. Alright, the battle continues. And we're coming up to some more lapped traffic, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare for me, but he's going to just be able to ghost straight through it. So this is a GT2 car now. We're coming up to the Asias, which they seem to be pretty close together from what I can see on the map. So there might be a little bit of a battle going on with a few GT2 cars close together, and away he goes. Okay, that made it easier for me, I suppose. But we're coming up to the main pack of Asias at the moment. And he needs a new car. I almost got caught out by the text chat again. That text chat, it really does get me totally distracted. Vixtro is now 28 seconds behind second place, which means I am as well. That's a shame. I was catching. I think both of us, me and Vixtro, are driving a lot worse at the moment, battling with each other, than what we were on our own. And that certainly wasn't a good corner. But yeah, we're coming up to lap more GT2 cars now. Vixtro's just going to be able to ghost straight through them. Oh well, he honked his horn. I thought he would have let me through there. You see, this is the difficulty in a multi-class endurance style race. If you get held up behind a slower car, I mean, look at how much time I've lost. Oh, let me through somewhere, please. He honked his horn. I thought he would have. Unless he thinks we're racing for position, which technically we are, but I'm meant to be standing a lap behind. Yeah, he's actively defending the position. That's a nightmare. I lost so much time there. I wish I could have just ghosted through like Vixtro did. What I can't understand is he honked his horn as if it was like, alright, come through. So yeah, generally in a multi-class endurance race, regarding the rules of sort of letting people through and letting faster cars through and stuff like that, the lower GT cars aren't necessarily forced to let people through. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. This guy's about 3 laps off the lead through incidents. Alright. Vixtro just ahead. There's a GT3 car ahead. Yeah, so in a multi-class race, the rules around it are a slower class doesn't have to sort of get majorly out of the way to let a faster car go by. It's not like a blue flag in Formula 1 where if you're a lap down you have to, get well out of the way and let the faster car go through. It's not like that. In multi-class racing, the slower car in front, if they're getting lapped, they shouldn't actively defend that position, but they don't have to get off their own racing line. And generally the best idea is for the slower cars to stay on their racing line. So the slower cars stay on their... Sorry, I just had to concentrate around there. The slower cars have to stay on their racing line, and it's up to the faster car to sort of get around it. Which is totally fine, because then everybody knows what they're doing. The faster car knows that the slower car is going to be on their racing line. The slower car knows just to stick to that and let the faster car do its thing. It doesn't have to sort of majorly move out the way or anything like that. But the most important thing is that the slow car, the GT3 car, if they're getting lapped by GT1s or whatever, GT2s, they can't actively defend that position. So normally if you were in a race with someone, you'd be able to sort of block to a certain extent and defend and go off the normal racing line to defend that position. If you're the slower car in a multi-class race, you're not allowed to do that. So that was why I was having issues getting ahead of that GT2 AC earlier, is because that's what he was doing, basically defending his position. I mean, it could have been because technically I am behind him in the race, You know, I'm only in 14th place technically, but that was only because I started a lap down just to get that initial shot, which everybody sort of knew about. So, you know, not everybody knows the rules, I guess, and not everybody's as well versed in multi-class racing. And you know, it's just a bit of fun, this race anyway. But it's just a little bit annoying that Vikstraw is in his ghost format and can just glide straight through everybody, where I have to sort of navigate around them. I've managed to catch back up though, which is good, because I lost so much time beforehand. This is the battle though. This is the battle for 3rd place in GT1. So we're coming on to the last lap now. It's going to say 17 out of 18 for me, but it's the last lap technically because I'm a lap down. Can I wrestle whatever position this is for off Vikstraw? Great, we got a GT3 car as well. That's not going to help me. Oh, please don't. Please. Please. No, I can't. I can't. I can't believe it. I can't. Nothing I could do. Oh, no. Come on. There's less than half a lap to go. I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm getting caught up with all of the traffic. And it's Vikstraw that is able to just glide through them all. There was nothing I could do there. I couldn't turn. I couldn't get away. Come on. This is it, 3rd place finish. Just ahead of Vikstraw. Obviously, technically, I'm still a lap behind, but that was the end of the race, technically, for GT1. I can't believe I managed to get that on the last lap, with all of the traffic issues and everything. Wow. Ruffy 13225 finished in 4th place. technically 5th. Bruffy13225 is my backup account that I've allowed someone else to use so he could participate. Yeah, that was intense. GG Vikstro. Sorry to the GT2 Acia that I ended up taking out, but to be fair, that was kind of his mistake. He was all over the road, and there was nowhere I could go. I couldn't avoid him. That GT2 driver didn't lose any positions in his class, so that's fine. At the end of the race, the leaderboard will show the air tugs as being for GT1, the caddy as being for GT2, and the Faggio as being for GT3. Obviously, because it's not going to show up on the leaderboard as Police Road Cruiser, Acia, and Burrito. This has also actually been a true multi-class race as well, because the Police Road Cruiser is in the emergency class, the Acia is in the sedans class, and the Burrito is in the vans class. So it really has been a true multi-class endurance race today. It's been fun. It's been such a joy to drive around this circuit in the snow, in these snow-covered vehicles. Some beautiful, beautiful shots. Had a decent battle there with Vikstro. An interesting race overall. Shame I couldn't catch up to second place after making that mistake. I'll take third place in GT1 after starting at the back of GT1. Yes. What a finish. So, Super Stepper was your winner in GT1, Story VS second. I was technically third there with Vikstro fourth. The winner in GT2 was Giordano P in the caddy, well, technically the Acia, and Michiski in 8th place was the winner in GT3. So he had a good race. He was mixing in with the GT2s there. So yeah, good race. I hope you guys enjoyed. Something a little bit different, a little bit special again, you know. I always try to do something a little bit special for these videos, and certainly when we're able to do it on PC. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all your thoughts down below. Let me know whether you enjoyed, and leave a like if you enjoyed and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.